You got this?
I got this.
Yup. Holla!
Wait, what's this round?
What? She broke all my plates.
You should have specified that in the rules.
Who's this? I like her outfit.
Hey, I'm Lele, and you've got great taste.
Yeah, I do.
Me and Dillon team up, together we're the best.
I know the neighborhood was another bus tonight, so I really didn't miss anything, even though I slept throughout, all afternoon and shit. But the Dale Sr. Austin Dillon installment of That Girl Lele was a total killer, as Elijah Cooper did a hell of a job when his world debuted as CoBo, and as John D. Beck is liked my tweet, probably is gonna blow. Well, I didn't send multiple tweets, so he can't blow up my phone on Twitter like he normally does. I didn't send enough tweets to about the show. But anyway, Kensington Tallman's voice changed. I can't believe it. That just goes to show you she's not that same little girl anymore that she was when we first met her on another Beck and Hart project side hustle, which sadly ended its run, which a video will be coming on that sometime in the near future. And Anna Grace, she's back. GiGi is back. Guess what? We fucking met her. We met her at David's show in the winter, which is out on Netflix as of now. Weather permitting, if the weather's crummy again on Sunday, instead of watching the Pocono 500, Pennsylvania 500, whatever the fuck you want to call it, even though it's 400 miles now, we're going to be watching It Ain't for the Week. God damn. But anyway, so Julie, his wife is second in command and making a banger show like this. So let's get into it. Even though we're having steak burritos from Taco Bell tonight, it made me want to eat burgers again. This episode did want to make me eat burgers, even though that shit was last night's dinner. But let's get down. Bajate. All right. So, the Dale Sr. Austin Dillon installment. Where do we begin? This was so action-packed. There's so much to go over. But anyway, let's start with the date. Let's start with, describing CoBo. Let's just say he's like a frenemy. Like a friend. I initially called him a minor antagonist off camera. But let's call him a frenemy. He's mostly friends with Lele and Sadie. And even though that's the case, and this is not the first show that's had main characters be frenemies, not going to be the last. Big Leap had that with Brittany Lovewell, less like Brittany Lovewell on The Big Leap. CoBo, Big Leap was a Fox show. CoBo on Lele on Nickelodeon is a frenemy, mostly friends with Lele and Sadie, but can be a little bit of an asshole at times. But we all know Elijah Cooper is real life 100% friend. No frenemies from him in real life. And his mom, trying to remember, what the fuck was her name? Erica, I think. Erica is her name, I think. Yeah, she raised a hell of a kid. So, therefore, he did a hell of a job. I love how, because they made him a frenemy, that of course, GiGi, because unlike Anna Grace Arnold in real life, who's the sweetest, because we met at David's show, her dad's show, like I mentioned in the beginning, GiGi is like a friend of me too. I mean, she's a little not the sharpest tool in the shed, but also can be mostly nice most of the time. And Tiffany's like that too, considering, Kensington Tallman's growing up, which is why her voice changed. But, she's can be a little, not little naughty at times, but also is somewhat nice too. So let's just say CoBo's like a friend of me, but like GiGi and Tiffany are like minor antagonists, Even though they do stuff with the main characters, sometimes they're not like the sharpest tools in the shed. So, but all in all, in real life, Kensington Tallman and Anna Grace are the sweetest girls you'll ever meet in the Nickelodeon franchise. If I could meet Anna Grace, then maybe I'll meet Kensington, because I remember telling Kensington in a comments thread that if there's a day that we do meet, I think this is how it's going to go down. I walk into a Nickelodeon facility, in order for me to meet the people I see on TV, especially Nickelodeon, you take that up with my dad at Oliveris, Ohio State, 10-14-58, something like that. But, so you message him. I'm the one that's the fan that, that wants to fulfill my dreams of meeting these people on shows that are my friends on social media. If you want your chance to actually meet me, this goes for my Nickelodeon friends, my Disney Channel friends, my ABC, CBS, and Fox friends. Take it up with my dad at Oliveris and blow his DMs up like Montoya and the Jet Trick. Because usually when it comes to meeting famous people or seeing them do stuff out in public, he's the one I usually go to. I went to him for David Arnold after David himself said in a comments thread, hey, I was really joking when I said this. I said, because first I told him that I was using his "It Ain't for the Weak" goddamn tagline for part of my YouTube outro, which is what I'm still doing now. And then he like, the way he replied to me sounded like he snickered, like if I were to tell him this in person, he's like, okay, Mark, now you're actually using are you seriously using my shit? And I told him I'm inspired by him, and I joked. Well, I was serious about that, but this is where I was joking. I said I'd pay $1,000 worth of Mountain Dew to come see you in person if you came to Ohio for our comedy club. I was actually joking, but then he was serious and invited me out to come to a show here in Ohio where he was born, where the state where my life originated with my whole family, my mom and dad's side. He said, I'm coming to Ohio where I was born for my Netflix special, so you can come too. So that's when I hit up my dad. And told him, a guy from Nickelodeon invited me to his Netflix taping, so buy the fucking tickets. And we almost didn't get him. Like the floor was sold out by him. So we were lucky to get balconies. And even though it was not close to him, it was close to Anna Grace, Ashlyn, Devaki. I know Barbara was in there. And I do remember the story of when, right before Christmas break, I called my dad to see if the David Arnold tickets, because he was working on it the whole time. And so during my Christmas party, I slept for half the day. Back in December 17th. So normally my rule is I do not answer the phone at work unless it's an emergency or something important in general. And I don't even call people at work unless it's an emergency, exciting or important. But I called my dad for check about David Arnold. It was important, so he got off the phone. We hung up after he said he's going to try to make sure he actually got him, no matter where we were sitting. He did get him, but then of course he had to call me back to tell me, and I knew what he was calling for, so I intentionally answered the phone, because I told David and Julie this in a comments thread. I intentionally answered the phone in front of my friends, so that way when my dad said, he got the tickets, then my friends could see my excitement in real time. I intentionally answered my dad in front of my friends so they could see my excitement, knowing I was seeing my #1 actor, comedian, and showrunner and creator live in person. So yeah, so that's how I got to see David at his show. That's how a YouTube video was made, even though the security said no recording because people don't like spoilers, and I don't blame the people out on the security for enforcing the recording stuff. I would have recorded some clips with Anna Grace that night, but everybody was in a rush to get the hell out. I'm surprised at that rate I'm not surprised when I walked into the family suite to meet Anna Grace. The whole family already knew who I was, but I'm surprised that, Barbara or Devaki didn't invite me without the VIP pass, but somehow just because that whole Arnold family knew me, to invite me to the VIP passes anyway, to ask ask my dad kind of permission, hey, we're going to take him to meet David, and then ask the VIP people to let me in without a VIP pass because, David knew me and some shit. I'm surprised that shit didn't happen. I didn't even think about it, but even if it did, I wouldn't have thought about it. But even if it did, I wouldn't have thought about it. But yeah, but Anna Grace is a sweetheart. So, but GiGi, I know, is a minor antagonist, and so is Tiffany, but oh my God. But yeah, back to the episode. I'm too busy talking about my love for David A. Arnold, the GOAT, but, yeah, so therefore, I love how, CoBo. I mean, Lele was getting all worked up over CoBo for no apparent fucking reason, and, And she didn't want to lose. She didn't want to lose, and nobody ever wants to lose. That's Kyle Busch, who's looking for a ride for the 2023 NASCAR season, which is why I could give less of a lick about modern NASCAR compared to the era I grew up with, early 2000s. But, she sabotaged, or at least she tried to sabotage CoBo. But then after, Sadie talked her out of it, Lele was like, what the hell am I doing? I mean, not like, I don't think she thought about it like that, but that's how she meant it. So that's only because, after Sadie ripped her pants, that CoBo was showing his good heart by, giving her his jacket to cover up the rip. I knew Nickelodeon, David and Will Packer, John, Ron, Wendy was not going to let us see that shit. Of course, and Julie, of course not. It's a kid's show. If it was on HBO, they probably would have showed us. But I mean, David A. Arnold does have HBO kind of vocabulary like I do, so it would have made sense in another universe where Lele was on HBO. But yeah, so that's why, Lele realized, there is some good in CoBo, and there's nothing to be jealous and worked up about. So she unsabotaged him by flip-flopping the plate so she could actually sacrifice hers winning. I should have known she was gonna, she was gonna lose, because Lele is in real life is still a kid, and CoBo's partially grown, so of course he's gonna get the job. And I love how they were good sports about it. No shit. I mean, they were shit talking in the beginning, but in the end they were shaking hands and showing good sportsmanship, which is what I like to see. So if CoBo was a major antagonist, oh hell yeah, Lele would have won, of course. David, Julie, Wendy, Ron, John would have stayed, and Will would have staged that shit to make Lele win if they would have made CoBo a major antagonist. But I'm glad they didn't do it that way. But yeah, now we go to the subplot. The Alexanders, Trish, Tommy, the dancing TV mother and father duo, husband-wife duo too. Mother-father duo, husband-wife duo, however the fuck you want to call it. Both of them is accurate. And the little boy, Marky, were going to some kind of fancy, well, they didn't call it karate, but I don't know. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's just a parody of the word karate, but you know what I fucking mean. They went to I think this was Will Ferguson. I know who he is, but if my memory serves me correctly, I think Tommy Hobson said it was his real life cousin, real life cousin. So therefore, it was so funny, I don't know if Tommy Hobson acts like this in real life, but oh my God, Bryce is so fucking goofy. I know a lot of goofy people in real life, including people in my neighborhood, including myself. If you remember my 4th of July TikTok with Tyler Brown over in the Florida house in Turn 2, he decided he wanted to make a TikTok with me, make it outweighs. It was his idea, even though I don't know that song, and I was doing the best to copy the moves. And his mom, Lauren Ashley Hubka said, y'all boys are goofy, and we're damn proud of it. And break the gun in half. Mr. Jerry, I think it was right before they left for their vacation, where it was the incident of the light. There's the light destroying incident with Hattie, who I call my number one child. When after we got that all situated, Mr. King Champion Chuck, who lives next door to the Jets, came over. And remember when Carrie and when May were watering the plant and shit, and break the gun in half was being silly. I can't remember what he did. And then me and Carrie started laughing in the background. But I said, he's goofy. And he's like, yeah, Mark, I agree, he is. I mean, there's a lot of goofy people in this neighborhood, and Tommy Hobson is one of them. I'm not sure about real life, but we all know Bryce is goofy. But this leads to what I'm about to talk about. So we know well, maybe in real life too, yeah. But on the show, Bryce was passionate about, doing this little self-defense, Sun Ming Ming and Yao Yao's Chow Chow, and breaking the boards and doing this different kind of version of karate chop. And he broke 4 out of 5 boards, so therefore he was getting out of control, and he knew it at first. He knew it this whole time, but at first he just didn't give a shit. And so when Trish was trying to boost some confidence in Marky to beat him, he only broke 3, and so of course, Bryce won and it was rubbing it in his face. There was more shit talking going on with the subplot with Bryce, Trish, and Marky than there was with Lele, CoBo, and Sadie and them. But and then of course, Tommy's cousin's character was looking at him, like giving him a dirty look, shaking his head. Trish was giving him a dirty look, shaking his head, and Marky had the face of defeat. And so that's when Bryce knew he fucked up like Fabricio goddamn Alberto, saying, I got too carried away. I'm sorry about that. I should let you could do the shit on your own. He didn't say it like that, but that's how he meant it. But if it was HBO, that's probably how he would say it, because David Arnold has that HBO kind of vocabulary outside of Nickelodeon. And so that's when Bryce said, I'm giving up this karate shit, and I'm going to let you handle it. And Marky was very appreciative of it, but wanted, his mom to go with them. And that was the end of the Dale Sr. Austin Dillon installment of That Girl Lele. So tomorrow is going to be a big one. We shift gear from Nickelodeon to Disney Channel. We got the Evernham double of 3 shows. The Casey Atwood installment of Bunked, and the Bill Elliott installment of Villains of Valley View and Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion. The Villains of Valley View one is going to be a can't fucking miss. Chris Peterson, Brian Moore, who are like the best of friends of John D. Beck and Ron Hart, have some good ass banger shit up their sleeves. So we got to find out what it is Saturday. Depending on what comes up naturally first, it's either between Tim Duncan Can I Recreate or Real Life NBA Jam. And Sunday, we're not fucking watching Pocono, even if it rains, because see this TV right here where we did the first part of the TV Mega Mix last night? We were up all night doing it? Yeah, we're watching David's It Ain't For The Week. We'll do a reaction video on that. And then Monday, it looks like it's going to rain, potentially. One of my last few days at Triad, if, it's looking likely. We're trying to figure this shit out. Tuesday is my meeting with my soon-to-be ex-SSA Jason, who's actually getting a new job at Cuyahoga. We get to meet the new SSA on Tuesday, so that's always going to be my last meeting with him, where he's going to introduce me my new SSA. Hopefully it's someone I know and love, or someone I know. Hopefully it's someone good too, whether I know him or not, whether I know and love him or not, or hopefully it's someone I actually like. As long as it's a good one, I'm happy. I'm happy, whether or not I know and love them, whether or not I know them, whether or not I love them. So, therefore, next week there's gonna be a lot of possibly new beginnings, just like how it was at the same time a year ago. So, you won't want to miss any updates in terms of YouTube and how my business life is going to be. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. And David Arnold, it ain't for the weak. God damn. Now here's the rest of the actual outro speech. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes you just got to be present. You never fail until you stop trying. It never pays to worry too much about things. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And it's never too late to turn the day around. So take care, everyone. Good night. And I will see you all for that last of the lineup of videos. The Disney Channel stuff tomorrow. Possible Tim Duncan Can I Recreate or Real Life NBA Jam Saturday. My reaction video to David's Netflix special instead of the Pennsylvania 500, Pocono 500, whatever the fuck you want to call it, as I've mentioned 3 or 4 times, even though it's 400 miles now. Monday, it's probably going to rain, so I don't know what we're going to fucking do. Probably going to knock out what the last of Side Hustle, let us all the way to the very end of the road. Tuesday, I'll be making an update video on whether I'm staying with Triad or possibly switching to Viacrest, where there'd be a lot of differences. I'd be getting out like an hour sooner, probably going into work way earlier than I am now. But we're gonna figure it all out. So stay tuned. Beginning of next week for a clue on where I end up being for my work life. So see you later, everyone.